Joining us here on the News at 4, I'm Shira Matsuzawa.
And I'm Doug Petcash.
And this is new at 4. The Whitman County Court has unsealed a search warrant for Bryan Kohberger's Pullman, Washington apartment. The 28-year-old is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in their Moscow home in the early morning hours of November 13th. Investigators searched his apartment on December 30th, the same day he was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania. According to that search warrant, investigators found and confiscated a number of things, including a synthetic rubber black glove, several possible hair strands, both human and dog, 2 cuttings from an uncased pillow with a reddish brown stain, as well as 2 mattress covers packaged separately with multiple stains. Police also searched Kohberger's teaching office at Washington State University, but the records show they did not take anything. Kohberger is currently in the Latah County Jail. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for June 26th.
More updates on the Bryan Kohberger case. Police investigating the Idaho quadruple murderer said he found a possible animal hair strand inside alleged killer Bryan Kohberger's home, and cops think it could be a direct connect to the site of the slayings. A search warrant for Kohberger's home obtained by TMZ says police seized several other notable items from the raid, including items with dark red and brown stains. The search warrant notes that there was a significant amount of blood spilled in the murder house, with investigators saying they believe the killer would have blood evidence on their body or clothing. Police were looking for trace evidence of blood stains in Kohberger's apartment, and the docs say that there was a pillow with a reddish-brown stain and an item with a collection of dark red spotting. The hair strand could be huge. There was a dog in the student's home at the time of the murders, and the killer spared the dog. According to the documents, police went looking for hair at Kohberger's apartment and found the possible animal hair, as well as strands from humans. The dogs say a dog was indeed barking at 4:17 a.m. the night of the murders. The dog, Murphy, belonged to victim Kaylee Goncalves, was found unharmed in her room. Other items seized from Kohberger's place, which was a computer tower, a disposable glove, mattress covers, receipts, and a vacuum cleaner's dust container. The the search warrant will be posted at the bottom of the description for you to read. The warrant says that police also searched Kohberger's office at Washington State University, where he was a graduate student studying criminology, but the police didn't seize anything. While cops say they found Kohberger's DNA on a knife sheath found inside the murder house, the actual knife was not found in the search for Kohberger's home or anywhere else for that matter. The alleged killer, Bryan Kohberger, even repeatedly messaged one of the victims on Instagram, as reported in this news piece.
The biggest leaks in the Idaho case so far might finally lead us towards what the motive might have been in the killings. A law enforcement source tells People magazine that investigators now have digital evidence that suspect Bryan Kohberger was persistently DMing one of the 4 victims before the murders took place on November 13th. Now, the source does not identify which one of the 4 victims was receiving these DMs, but those who have been following the case very closely, people have already been pointing this out online. News Nation reported, you might remember, that Kaylee Goncalves, her injuries were far more severe than those of Maddie, Xana, and Ethan's. Now, the source told People magazine Steve Heller, I'll read the quote here, he slid into one of the girl's DMs several times, but she didn't respond. Basically, it was just him saying, hey, how are you? But he did it again and again. The source also acknowledged that the recipient of these messages. Again, one of the 4 victims might not have seen those messages on social media. It's important to note, too, that this is a single law enforcement source. In the article, they make no mention of a second source to corroborate, and whoever leaked this information to People magazine, they risked their law enforcement career in the process, given the gag order that exists right now in Idaho with this case. Now, if true, these DMs, valuable evidence for prosecutors, but again, leaves major questions. Why did the suspect kill 3 more people in the house, and then also, 2, leave 2 roommates completely unharmed? We'll continue to follow what's going on with the Idaho case. You can follow right here on social media, the very latest as well, on WFLA.com, the WFLA app.
In late October, an account that authorities believe belonged to Bryan Kohberger sent a greeting to one of the female victims, a source said to People magazine. When he didn't get a reply, he sent several more messages to this one girl, who police believe is Kaylee Goncleves. The source also told People, quote, he slid into one of the girl's DMs, direct messages, several times, but she didn't respond. Basically, it was just him saying, hey, how are you? But he did it again and again, end quote. According to the probable cause affidavit obtained by People magazine, one of the victim's surviving roommates said she saw the killer, described in black clothing and a mask. She also told police in the affidavit other things pertaining to the case, but that was not revealed to the public. Authorities also remain tight-lipped about the alleged motive in the attack. They have not publicly discussed the relationship between Kohberger and the victims. Kohberger's now deleted Instagram account, which was viewed by People magazine before it was removed, also filed the accounts of Mogan, Goncleves, and Kernodle, the 3 women killed, but there was no public interaction, for they not knew him. It's unclear why Kohberger didn't get a response to his messages, but authorities say that the victim may have missed him completely. According to the source speaking on anonymity to People magazine, quote, she may not have seen them because they were into message requests. Instagram users are not notified when they receive a message from someone they do not follow back, and the messages go into a special folder. We're still trying to determine how aware the victims were of his existence. There is no indication that he was getting frustrated with her lack of response, but he was definitely persistent, end quote. Finally, a Washington state court unsealed the search warrant for Idaho state murder suspect Bryan Kohberger's home, according to News Nation. The newly released court document reveals what investigators seized from Kohberger's home and the list of evidence, including 9 possible hair strands, 1 possible animal hair strand, and 1 nitrate-type black glove, including a computer tower, as well as 1 collection of dark red spots. The warrant lists the items removed from the residence, but did not offer additional information explaining the connection, if any, between what was discovered and what evidence in the case. This is the latest updates in the Kohberger case. And of course, if there's more, you'll be the first to know. Only the facts matter in the case. And as usual, all links will be prescribed in the description box below.